Hello, everybody. We are continuing on with Heaven Will Be Mine. I do not know how much further we have left to go with this game. What I'm gonna do to try and get us through a little faster, I have a feeling that this game is really long, right? I mean, it's a visual novel. There's a lot of content and messages and mail to explore, but I don't exactly have the time to go through all of that. As I've mentioned before in some earlier videos, there are some other games coming out that I want to play, so I want to kind of bring this series to a kind and polite close. So I'm just going to go through here and do what I can and see how, see kind of where my options have gotten me. The fleets are already in motion. Are you ready? No problem. I'm only worried about that trickster from Celestial Mechanics. No end of trouble. You don't sound too unhappy about that. I suppose the trouble will end soon, one way or another. It's simply recon this time, but it's on the near side of the moon. An Earth military is there, with autonomous devices. They are in very high orbit, but they will descend rapidly if they notice gravitational variability. The ship itself is a shape intended for humans to exist in space outside of Earth's pole. It isn't intended for war. The military is here with the most direct of intentions, so don't let them achieve it. Funny that the planetary sphere doesn't seem to think we're on the same side. There's nothing funny about it. We are not on the same side. We are complicating the problem. We can't let it go as much as Kratos Graces or Celestial Mechanics can't. Earth has graciously allowed us considerable leeway in dealing with the closing of the space program on our terms. Broken and naive as they find us, Memorial Foundation International begged them to let us try to bring the wayward children back home bloodlessly. So we should be thankful that they are just watching and not descending to rout us. Most of Earth would find any loss of human life to space unacceptable, but less and less of Earth considers us fully human. So the mission isn't just to protect any stranglers from getting themselves killed by the forces we're trying to save them from. You don't think we can trust them. If I trusted them to handle it, I would have not led you, the children of space, to fight this conflict. Do you think we can do it? Bring everyone back to Earth? There's a reason I'm not having you interfere with the opening in the gravity well. Everyone will be in one place at least. What Celestial Mechanics and Kratos Graces hope will be their salvation could be ours, too. We're on a tight deadline for something that might be that impossible. Win with what's in front of you and worry about that later. Okay, so we're just going to stay loyal to Memorial Foundation. It's winter on the near side of the moon, which means that it'll be half a month before this hemisphere sees day again. The frosted forest will see spring in a week, summer the week after, and fall a week after that. A year of seasons in a month-long day, even terraformed. Could humans live like that? On the near side, though, at least the Earth will always be in the sky, eternally huge, shining with authority and kindness, unlike its agent who hangs in the corner of the sky like a migraine aura. There's nothing extraneous about its shape. It is here to just do two things: look, then kill. When Saturn flew a millimeter just too high, the autonomous military unit looked, then killed, but just too slow, and Lunaterra pushed her away and dragged them both deep into the winter forest. The unit looks twice as hard. It's been encouraged not to miss twice. Shh! Don't make a sound. You're being too noisy. I get that a lot, but this time I'm not making any noise, so don't tell me to be quiet. You're the one flitting all over the place. They're listening for gravity. Vibrations are not the kind of noise that they care about. So keep moving and don't make noise in your heart. Don't make a sound in all possible senses. Don't make a sound physically, emotionally, or spiritually. I say as I continue to make sound. Calm down. They don't like it if you're not calm. First of all, that makes no sense. And secondly, I refuse. I don't think you should die, so think of something else to do instead because they can kill you. Unlike me or any ship self, so think about as little as you can, okay? And keep your tidal reactor's output to a minimum. It helps to make yourself to be like an object. You will be a thing that others things happen to, rather than an agent. That's what it's looking for, agency, so it can make it cease immediately. You know, I'm absolutely super good at that. I have a lot of experience with it. So I'm absolutely not going to. Well, me too. That's why I suggested it. But you're right, I shouldn't have suggested it like that. How about this instead? Start by thinking about the Earth. The autonomous device becomes visible instantaneously. It doesn't look anything like a ship itself and bears no resemblance to a human shape because there's no intention for its design to accommodate humans. That's the opposite of what it does. It has nothing to express, only a function to perform. What did I do? Probably thought too hard about Earth, but shh, all the same. It's so creepy. That's supposed to represent Earth? It doesn't even look like humans made it. Really? I think it's rather appropriate. It doesn't look human at all. They can detect an artificial gravity reactor, but they don't really know what to do unless they can lock a target and kill it. So if it cannot verify what it is, it won't do anything. It feels so heavy suddenly. What is this? I'm telling you, that's the Earth, real gravity. It's very, very heavy. You can feel its authority? That's the gulf between us and a planet. I know that. I guess it feels really different to feel it in person. You were saying a way to avoid it? Do you remember being a normal kid, even for a little bit? Or do you remember the last time you acted convincingly like one? Obviously, I was a really good kid, you know. It's checking your gravity against a script, and it thinks, sorry, it doesn't think, it just checks that variance. Aren't I pretty excessively varied by now? Just wait there a second, it's hard to teach on the spot. It's not that I don't know the idea. Ugh, how are you so good at it? It sounds like you kind of hate that I am. I promised I wouldn't die, but I'm mad I have to do this. Lunaterra crawls slowly through the frostbitten green crater, to where Saturn is curled among cold desert junipers. The dark, barely perceptible dot monitors them in the pale earthlight, so precisely waiting. It's easier to hide if the ship selves are turned off, or as close to that as the ship self can be. So they climb outside to the cold lunar winter to wait. I'm here. Are you doing okay? No, obviously. I'm scared. Me too, so forget what I said. I hate doing that too. You warm, laying there? You're not warm at all, but at least your boobs are soft. The autonomous unit doesn't like flirting, huh? You need to chill out there, 90 shapes. You should think instead about how you're keeping a secret, keeping it really close, waiting for the perfect moment, and no one else can know. Okay, I can do that. That's not as bad. Is it that big of a difference? There is infinite difference between someday and never. I've extremely forgotten how to be patient, but I know the difference. You're right. It really is important to never forget. It's still not going away. Yeah, it's a lot more patient than us, huh? It's looking at you too. Aren't you on their side? Just because we want Earth back doesn't mean Earth wants us back. So Memorial Foundation really is that stupid. Maybe. In their eyes, we're as bad as you. So why go back? Because fuck them. They don't want anything to do with us. Memorial Foundation thinks it's optimal for humanity to return, but I think many humans think it would be just fine if we died. That just makes me want to come back to Earth even more. Spite, I can understand. Ha, I can be petty too. I want back, even if only for spite. We will bring them back a little taste of what it is like to be us. They're afraid that we might bring something back with us, and they should be much more than they already are. That's what I want. Knowing that you're just as petulant and petty as me, and this week too, makes me reconsider you. In a good way. It's wonderful. Maybe makes me want to fall in love. Oh, I said maybe. Don't get full of yourself. Sorry. There's no way we're getting any more than half of what we want at best. You're only hoping for half of what you want, so I wonder if you'll even get that, if you get it. I don't expect things to go my way, but, you know, I hope you're coming along wherever it is. Truer than you know, LT. Whichever way we go, we're going together. In this cosmic glow, we're going wherever we're going together. I love you. Get used to me now. You made me go upside down on purpose again. You're so good at evasion, but scoring a direct hit is so easy. You win. It'll be nice to see the end of every world, but this one alongside you. See, the machine's already bored. Or not bored, but uncomprehending, and then I lost interest. But I'll stay here with you until it leaves for good. Because fight or fight, petty bitch to petty bitch, lab rat to upperclassman brat. What, really? Do you maybe love me too? I don't understand. Halimidi. You want things long distance? You want to break up? You want to fight? A messy fight and get back together? You can't have it both ways. How selfish can you be? Humanity breaks up or humanity gets back together. Which is this? You want to still be friends? It's never going to happen. You want us to be different and together? No. There are some lines you can't cross. Change too much and you won't be human. Change too much and we won't understand or recognize each other. We don't have hearts strong enough. Luna, you know I wish we did, but I know they don't. If you come crawling back, they'll accept you. If you leave, they will let you. But they'll kill you if you try to change them. Thanks, babe, but I'm still an idiot. Oh, God, we made it to the final day. No! Okay. Though Cradle's Grace's fleet is small and weak, and they're desperate, with the dream of space dying, there's no time left, no chances left. The decision has already been made. Humans don't need space. It's one thing to go home and never to leave forever. Both of these are just up to those of us in space. Neither of those required the strength to pull humanity from its cradle. That's a strength that no one has, and no one should even pretend they have the strength for it. With all of Cradle's Grace's hopes and dreams, Pluto will still try. The pilots bow out as the conclusion of the conflict becomes evident. No, it is now, truly, a war, because the autonomous military units have been arrayed against her for her transgression. This is no longer a fight between the humans of space, but a war with the Earth. The autonomous units ready their weapons, and in unison they fire to kill, as if their trajectories bend away from Pluto. Blushing at the sight of her, they refuse to meet her gaze, as expected. Krumakula will convert to the gravity well directly into the space and time and culture necessary for the future, and they will steal that future from her piece by piece by piece. This is unexpected but not unprepared for, so Wave 2. Wave 3. Wave 4. Wave 10. Wave 36. Wave 150. Wave 460, Wave 1000, Wave 4569. They know she's not invincible. They know her real truth that no one who loves her can see. They have the patience and power to take it apart piece by piece. They will strip her down atom by atom if they have to until she loses mass and gravity and becomes only a girl again. Pluto wouldn't mind if they were trying to kill her, but they would have a much more important thing to kill: Cradle's Grace's future. The future of humanity as we know it depends on it. For that, they'll annihilate hers without hate, with only human efficiency and uncomplicated thoughts in mind. Join us or leave us. Only through an autonomous proxy can Earth give up on the inexhaustible empathy of the human soul. Only through a proxy can Earth divorce itself from the longing that Memorial Foundation had fought on behalf of to value their own life above all else. They will do anything, everything, to protect themselves from death, especially at their own hands. For ship selves can only change others and never kill, but that is the fear of Earth above all else. The flawed, pathetic conscience of humanity, playing catch-up to its own mistakes, doing more harm than good. So heavy, even Pluto can't bear it. How can she not respond to the pathetic, self-deceptive, self-destructive feelings? How can she say no when they need her so much? She can't. Acceleration tearing through space-time, crashing through the autonomous units at impossible speeds. Solid light, white and gold, bent and bleeding lance. Lunaterra understands, over many years, after much training and teaching, with dynamic technology, how to speak the word no. And her spear can write it, and it does. Sorry. You really should be. You really don't have any mercy. You really need to learn how to hold other people's feelings. I'm sorry for not knowing a better way to do it, but I'm not sorry for doing it. I don't care how they feel, I just care about you. The autonomous units fall into disarray. They don't know how to match her speed. Lunaterra rejects their attempts to comprehend her. You're the worst! What am I gonna do with you? I didn't even want you to do that. Sorry, I did what I wanted to. You do the same for me, even in my foolish future. If they can pull on her empathy for Earth, they can also tug her desire to be free, and celestial mechanics has so many ways. This one is called aversion impulse. Aepius despises fighting. He never wanted to develop the ship selves. He would prefer a simpler and less vulgar solution that didn't require bodies at all, of any kind. He's the first betrayer of celestial mechanics' dream for a new kind of body, but he understood it because everyone can understand the dream to lead these bodies, and that was the name he gave to the instinct that drives humans to abandon what is for what could be, the inside-out impulse. Excuse me. There's still time for his masterwork. Pluto can be that linchpin if she's pushed far enough, and the gravity well's Schwarzschild radius expands to the point at which she cannot escape. Past the limit at which point humans can no longer exchange information. Past the limit by which it becomes impossible to regard each other as human. Iapetus loves win-win scenarios. Humanity's discarded children will be free of their obligations to be human. Humanity will have a physical, unified enemy to chase through the pursuit of space. And Oedipus will have sown the seeds of a single binding unified culture theory. A white void that will bend the universe to a single set of physical laws. A single process of autonomous drones injecting degenerate mass into the gravity well is all that is necessary, as long as Iapetus holds Pluto off personally in his Roosevelt Terra. He even has a plan for Saturn, should she choose just this moment to betray him. A perfect plan. Like deactivating my access permissions remotely through a back door, overwhelming me with a mass production String of Pearls series, everting my gravity reactor through the Rendezvous Terra's albedo separation system. Oh, and even more plans than that? You're really so predictable. Of course you'd have a solution for every contingency. You're so stupid. I don't even have to outsmart every single one of your genius ideas. Sortie orders are fielded for String of Pearls Series 0113, and Roosevelt Terra is designated as their primary target. Just one of them should be more than enough, but I really thought you deserved their full attention. Hey Pluto, unlike LT, I'm not even the slightest bit sorry. It is extremely dumb to fight for your future all by yourself. So thank me from the bottom of your heart for coming to believe in it with you. Praise me for obeying what you never asked me to do. Love me for believing in you. Of course. I really, really do. All my love and thanks and praises for you. I won't even pretend to be mad at you. Not like Lunaterra then? I'm still connected. We know. We know. Back to the topic at hand. It's the final battle, Lunaterra. There's no room to retreat. Oh no, so bad for her. We really should... You think the end of the world is enough of an excuse to change the subject? It should be? It won't be the end of the world. The gravity well is open, but it's not sustainable for long. Whatever you're planning, you need to do it soon. You are both so precious to me. And you should know that even together, you cannot stop me. Hey, don't just ... I thought you were going to convince her. I have to do this, because I believe in it too. But Dr. Nyx was willing to sacrifice the Earth, and I am not. No matter what it costs. Kratos' Graces never wanted independence for space, they wanted all humans to embrace it. The solution is to destabilize the Earth's gravitational field until human life is no longer possible there, and force adaptation to space. Saving humanity against their own will, maybe, and destroying yourself in the process. No way! Nyx doesn't know what she's talking about. You're throwing yourself away on a dream that won't come true, and you are chiding me for not going in on my own future. The possibility lines have closed. There was no chance of a good future since before we started. It's too sad. That's why I have to stand with Dr. Nyx's dream. Humans deserve some kind of real hope, and this is as close to it as I can offer her. Well, how mad will you be at us if we stop you? I'd never be mad at you, even if you could. But for humans to be caught halfway between space and the Earth is the worst of all bad futures. It will split us in half, and that will mean war. It's the future of eternal war. Of true war, not this, where Zero-G keeps our bodies immortal and unrestricted. I mean, if we really did declare independence from Earth, wouldn't they see how cool we are and come up anyway? It's their choice, you know. You can't make it for them. That's their problem. You two really put up a fight. For a moment, I almost believed you. I really thought you might be able to stop me. Myricresium's spine is broken. The String of Pearls is subdivided into so many components its assembly time is weeks out. Can't blame us for trying. I wouldn't have been able to do anything else. I really hate this. It's time to... The interfacer is broken. Thank God, I thought you missed. You didn't make the shot easy. I can't control the lunar gravity event anymore. I don't know what's gonna happen. What can I do? Sorry, we didn't think that far ahead. We just wanted you to decide. Not Dr. Nyx. If you can't have everything, what is the thing you really want? I don't know what kind of future we're gonna get. I'm not working with much. Anything you do is fine, if it's you. Don't listen to her. Just figure out something that doesn't suck. The three compress, redivide, expand. The simplest childish thought grasps Pluto, bubbles up within her, and she says it before she can stop herself. I want us to be together forever. In our beautiful shapes in space, free. With everyone. Of course it is impossible. Not enough people will believe in it. Earth is the primary body of the system, and the medium point between our gravity and its gravity is still deep within the Earth. Yet they cannot pull us down anymore. That will never happen. We are still in space and the future is uncertain, even if we can sustain it, but... I declare war on the Earth. Come get us again. Come find us again. I dare you. I challenge you to prove it once again. What foolishness. Humanity will happily oblige, yet they find that their autonomous troops are crushed before they can reach us. Humanity will have to fight us again, on our terms this time. Fight us like children fight, again with bodies of plastic, pretend. If you want to fight us, you'll have to be like us. I meant it when I said that I wish Pluto was right. But I also meant it when I fought otherwise. Who doesn't want the perfect future? happiness for all and no one left behind. But there is a secret. We don't need a true ending. We can make a true ending out of any ending. We can make it without the true end. We can make it out of the best ending or the second best ending or a bad ending. Some of these might be bad endings, but we're going to keep going, beyond the part where there's an ending, until it's something else. There might be more today. Let's bet against that. I'm tired. They'll catch us off guard. So stay in your ship self. You want to laze around in your ship? Why not? Does it feel as nice? It's different, but it's better. You can't feel anything. You still got a lot to learn, Ace. Maybe I do. Let Pluto teach you. I'm taking a nap. Nah, you're helping. I'm tired. Shut up. So she says, but when she stretches out on the yellow-red carpet of Venus's jungle, she doesn't go so instantly to sleep. There's room for both of them on Pluto's lap, which is an advantage of living in your ship self. You can do things that you normally couldn't, even if other things are harder. Harder doesn't mean impossible. It just means you have to work for it, to figure out how to make it real, learning a new language that your body speaks. Moments like these are rare since we began a war against Earth, though we're quick to remind each other it's not really a war the way that war used to be. Not the hard clash of steel and lead, but the pliant pressure of plastic and light. Venus's heat melts their metal before they can make it here. When Earth wants to fight, they have to send softer bodies after us. The punishment we deserve for being able to reconcile is this half-real solar system. The forests are still struggling on Mars, but we're trying hard. And the jungles of Venus are growing so nicely, except they're too wild to give us room. The silicate mosses that grow along the rings of Saturn allow for a very fragile, delicate sort of life. We love these places anyway. They're becoming more and more like home. All we need are more of us. And they come, descending in waves, trying to take us back. We beat them back every time, and sometimes one or two look around and decide, I'd rather stay here. And then there's more of us. Sometimes they succeed and take one of us back home. That's just as fine with us. We should go where we wish, live as we wish, and if our sisters get taken home, they bring a small part of us back to Earth. That can't go unchanged. Like Pluto always said, this future no one wanted is the only future that leads somewhere. A future she couldn't hold and still can't hold, but she doesn't need to. We are holding it with her. We are holding it together. All together, we can hold this future. Earth isn't ready to accept us and we're not ready to forgive Earth. That's okay. We don't have to be. Let's just fight about it. Let's break up and get back together again over it. If we lose on the terms we set, and that proves our point, so haha, we win. If you hate that logic and think it's stupid, come over here and mess me up about it. Come here and make out with me about it. Okay. Wow, that was the end of the story. Okay. So this was a really fascinating game. So what did I like about this game? I really loved the interface, the user design that really actually did make you feel like you were piloting a ship. It really brought you into the world. And I love it when visual novels just go beyond sort of the basic kind of world building within the game itself and instead kind of take that sort of text and bring it forward to the player, almost kind of, I don't know if meta is the appropriate word, but that's kind of how it feels. The use of sound, the use of graphics in this game was also good. I don't know if I really liked a lot of the graphics in terms of the design, the graphics in terms of some of the backgrounds and the actual characters themselves. I don't know if I like the painted things as much. So like the painted things of the robots, because I really didn't get it didn't really match. You know how like when you read, and when you read, you have a picture in your mind. Like, those pictures really kind of contrasted with the pictures in my own mind. So I almost wish that if they were going with, these character designs, they were going with these character designs that were really kind of fixed and detailed, like people with really defined sort of facial features, and then we have the robots and the environments, and those aren't as defined. Like, they're vague, they're kind of painted, they almost sort of look like watercolor paintings that someone might have made in like an experimental art class, and I don't know if I really liked that contradiction as much. In regards to the story, I really thought that it did a wonderful use of world building, but it does get to be, towards the end of the game, it gets to be a little convoluted at times, like Iapetus, or however you pronounce that. I have no idea who that is, and because it's been so long since the start of the game, like, that was probably one of the characters that sort of introduced the whole conflict in space, but I don't know. I don't know anymore because, like, it's been that long. I would love to, on my own time, sort of play through some of the other levels by myself to get kind of a feel for how the routes sort of change. One thing that I was struggling to understand is that I don't really understand the impact that my choices have, because it felt like at times like I was going to be with Pluto and I was going to be in a relationship with Pluto, but then Saturn tells me that she loves me in this episode, and so now I'm like, am I in a relationship with both Saturn and Pluto? Like, I don't know. Like, that's left kind of vague. And while vague writing can be good in some ways, and you know, the implementation of jargon and all of that can be good in some ways, it's frustrating in others, and it kind of like distances people. This is certainly a game though that is good for those of you who really like sci-fi, like intense sci-fi stories. You like visual novels. This is something that also has a lot of replay value to it because of all the different choices that you can take with all the different characters. There's probably a lot of different outcomes to explore, and I just got only like a couple of them. So all in all, I really like this game, and I can see why it was such a popular game back in 2018. And I'm really excited to see exactly what this team comes up with in the future, because I think that they can do some other really, really interesting works, possibly within the same world and building off of these characters, or maybe with a different set of characters. Well, who knows? Well, thank you so much for joining me for this series. This was the very first Let's Play series that I decided to do for this channel, and thank you so much for joining me throughout all of it. I was so happy to be able to go through this series with you and just kind of take this game piece by piece, step by step, and thanks for suffering through all my bad choices. I hope that you're looking forward to some of the other episodes and other games that we have planned for this channel. Do be sure to check out the JJ Macfield series that's going to be ending soon, if you haven't already. And also, please be sure to hit the bell so that you can get more notifications about videos. Additionally, feel free to check out the Patreon if you like the videos that I make, because it really does help out the channel. Even just $1 would really help me out. It goes a long way. Anyways, thank you so much. Bye!